Now, this is one case study. In the early 2000s, Microsoft, they had this office and it used to look nice when this was first introduced. But later on, when they started introducing more and more features, it became very complex and difficult to use. Though the user had the option to control it, again, having all on the screen used to take a lot of space and it was very difficult to find the relevant menu item that the user wanted. So it was very complex. So the problem here was what? The original interaction and the interface design created a decade before was not scaling well. So that was the problem. So new features were hidden by the interface. New features users had requested had been put into new versions of the product, couldn't be found by those very same users. So when they tried scaling this product, it was very difficult. Why? Because it was not scalable and the interaction design, the grouping of the different information was not done in the proper way. So users faced a lot of problem. They were not able to find the right feature. So that became a problem for them. So the software appeared bloated, inefficient, and unwieldy. Fine. So this was a problem. Here, what happened was initially there were like few menus, like 50 menu items and two toolbars from that's like Microsoft Word 1.0. And then when they started like adding more and more to this based on the feedback and the requirement from the users, they ended up having like 260 menu items and 30 toolbars by 2003. So a product that was minimal, simple when they started became very complex by 2003. This was a problem. Now the designers were like, faced with this and they wanted to solve this. So what they did, so they followed this process. And as a UX designer, we also do the same. So Microsoft design team started by analyzing anonymous data collected about how people were using Office 2003. And that means they did all this qualitative research, quantitative research, and so on. And they looked for two important things. So when they were doing the research, they tried to find what is the problem in the sense like desirable features with low usage number, which meant people couldn't find them. Other things that they tried to look for was frequently used features that were hard to get to, which people really wanted them. Okay, so these were like the two problems. And then they focused on the design principles and did several years of iterative prototyping. So yes, they did research and then created some interactions, some prototypes, and they kept testing it till the time they had some good interaction design and the experience. After this, they came up with the new version that was 2007 when they came up with this Microsoft Office. So this is how it looked. It was like well structured, well packaged, properly grouped, and following all the principles of design. There was a quick toolbar on the top. Then the all the information were like grouped, following the law of proximity. They grouped the information in different tabs, and they had the top bar that they called ribbon, and also they had mini bars. So basically, like if you were on a particular element, then you could like right click and access quick menu or action items. So that's how they solved. Okay, so the solution was what? Microsoft Office 2007 had 1,000 enhancements, which take up less screen space than previous versions. You see, so just by understanding the interaction and creating good experience, they were able to accommodate all these 1,000 enhancements. So that is the power of interaction design. They came up with one big change that was a ribbon on the top, like that big whole bar. Also this mini bar. After this became the bestseller in the sense like the new designs was appreciated and it was in the news. As a designer, our responsibility is to create simple experiences by following different laws of design, principles of design, and also understanding human, the needs. So that is important here.